Today, we re-journeying into the heart of mystery to explore some of the most fascinating civilizations that vanished without a trace. Our first stop takes us to the dense jungles of Mesoamerica, once home to the Maya. From around 250 to 908, the Maya civilization was a powerhouse of intellect and artistry. They developed a complex writing system, created breathtaking pyramids that pierced the jungle canopy, and charted the stars with astounding accuracy. Cities like Tikal and Calakmul were bustling metropolises, home to hundreds of thousands of people. Then, in the ninth century, something went profoundly wrong. One by one, the great southern cities were abandoned. The grand plazas fell silent, the temples were reclaimed by vines, and the people seemingly walked away from centuries of history. What could cause such a mass exodus? For years, scholars have debated the cause of the Maya collapse. Was it incessant warfare between the city-states that bled them dry? Some evidence points to brutal, escalating conflicts. Or was it an environmental catastrophe? Deforestation and prolonged severe droughts could have triggered widespread famine, making city life unsustainable. The truth is likely a combination of these factors, a perfect storm of political instability, war and climate change that brought a brilliant civilization to its knees. Yet, the Maya people didn't disappear entirely. Their descendants still live in the region today, carrying on traditions, and speaking languages passed down through generations, a living link to their magnificent past. Now, let's travel across the Atlantic to the Aegean Sea, to a story shrouded in myth and waves. We're looking for the Minoan civilization on the island of Crete, flourishing around 3000 to 1100 BC. The Minoans were a vibrant Bronze Age culture. They were master sailors and traders, and their art reflects a deep love for nature and beauty. Their palaces, like the legendary one at Knossos, were sprawling complexes without defensive walls, suggesting a relatively peaceful existence. They were famous for their labyrinthine architecture, colorful frescoes, and a mysterious script known as Linear A, which remains undeciphered to this day. Then, around 1600 BC, the nearby island of Thera, now known as Santorini, exploded. It was one of the largest volcanic eruptions in human history, a cataclysmic event that sent shockwaves and colossal tsunamis across the Aegean. The eruption buried the Minoan settlement of Akrotiri on Thera under a thick layer of ash, preserving it like a time capsule. While this event undoubtedly devastated Minoan coastal settlements and trade routes, it wasn't the final blow. The civilization persisted, albeit in a weakened state. The ultimate end came a couple of centuries later, around 1450 BC, when Mycenaean Greeks from the mainland appeared to have taken control of Crete. The Minoan culture was gradually absorbed, its unique identity fading into the legends of King Minos and the Minotaur. The exact sequence of events remains a puzzle, a tale of natural disaster and foreign conquest. Our next mystery takes us to the arid coast of modern-day Peru, to a civilization that predates even the Great Pyramids of Giza. This is the North Chico civilization, also known as the Karel Soup civilization. Flourishing from roughly 3500 to 1800 BC, it is the oldest known advanced civilization in the Americas. In the desert valleys, they built monumental platform mounds, sunken circular plazas, and impressive urban centers like the city of Cairo. What's truly astonishing is what they lacked. Archaeologists have found no evidence of warfare, no defensive walls, no weapons, no mutilated bodies. They also seem to have developed their complex society without the aid of pottery or ceramics. Their economy was based on cultivating cotton and gourds, which they traded with fishing communities along the coast for anchovies and sardines. They were a society built on trade and reciprocity, a peaceful anomaly in the ancient world. So, why did they disappear? Around 1800 BC, the North Chico sites were abandoned. The reasons are still debated, but climate change seems to be the leading culprit. Evidence suggests that a period of environmental upheaval, perhaps a series of powerful El Niño events, brought devastating floods and droughts. This could have disrupted their delicate agricultural and maritime economy, forcing the people to disperse and seek more stable lands. The North Chico civilization didn't collapse violently. It simply faded away, leaving behind its silent, sand-swept monuments as a testament to a different way of life. Let's now venture to the Indian subcontinent, to the vast plains of the Indus River Valley. Here, between 3,300 and 1300 BC, thrived one of the world's first great urban civilizations. The Indus Valley Civilization, also called the Harappan Civilization, was enormous, spanning parts of modern-day Pakistan, India, and Afghanistan. Cities like Mohenjo-Daro and Harappa were marvels of urban planning. They had grid-like street layouts, sophisticated water management systems with indoor plumbing and sewers, and massive granaries. Their craftsmanship was superb, producing intricate seals and jewelry. They traded with distant Mesopotamia, a testament to their advanced maritime capabilities. Yet, for all their sophistication, they remain deeply enigmatic. We have not yet deciphered their writing system, so their beliefs, their history, and their leaders remain unknown. Around 1900 BC, the signs of decline began to appear. The once thriving cities started to empty out. The sophisticated infrastructure fell into disrepair, and craftsmanship declined. By 1300 BC, the great cities were ghost towns. What happened? For a long time, the theory of an Aryan invasion was popular, but there's little archaeological evidence to support a large-scale conquest. The more likely answer is, once again, the environment. Shifts in monsoon patterns and the changing course of the Indus River could have led to a combination of flooding and drought, crippling their agriculture-based economy. It seems this mighty civilization, which had masterfully engineered its cities to manage water, was ultimately defeated by it. The people likely migrated to smaller, more sustainable villages, their urban culture slowly dissolving into the rural landscape of ancient India. Finally, we sailed to one of the most remote places on Earth, Easter Island, or Rapa Nui. This tiny, isolated volcanic island in the Pacific is famous for its nearly 1,000 colossal stone statues, the moai, carved and erected by the Rapa Nui people between 1250 and 1500 AD. These statues are a phenomenal feat of engineering and devotion. The islanders developed a complex society in complete isolation, creating their own unique art, culture, and a written script called Rongorongo that is also undeciphered. But when Europeans first arrived in 1722, they found a stark landscape and a dwindling population. The island had been almost entirely deforested. What caused this societal collapse? The classic theory points to an ecocide. The story goes that in their fervor to build and transport the moai, the islanders cut down all their trees. This led to soil erosion, the loss of resources for building canoes for fishing, and eventually starvation and warfare. It's a powerful cautionary tale. However, recent research paints a more complex picture. Their collapse may not have been as sudden or self-inflicted as previously thought. The introduction of diseases by European visitors and the devastating effects of the slave trade in the 19th century played a massive role in the population's demise. The true story of Rapa Nui is likely a tragic blend of environmental strain and brutal external pressures that brought this unique and resilient culture to the brink of extinction. From the Maya to the Minoans, from Kerala to the Indus Valley and Rapa Nui, these lost civilizations leave us more questions than answers. Their stories are not just tales of collapse, but also of incredible achievement and human resilience. They serve as a powerful reminder that even the greatest empires are fragile, susceptible to the forces of nature, conflict, and change. As we continue to uncover their secrets, we learn more not just about the past, but about our own future and the challenges we face as a global civilization. The echoes of these vanished worlds are all around us, waiting to be heard. Thanks for joining us on this journey into the unknown. If you enjoyed this exploration of history's greatest mysteries, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the past. Let us know in the comments which lost civilization fascinates you the most. See you next time.